National championship justice is what we seek to deliver right here at the Voice of College Football. We appreciate you all stopping by. If you love college football, you have stopped at the right place. Please like the video, share the videos out on social media, subscribe right here at the Voice of College Football. We deliver championship criteria here from year to year. Check out the playoff seasons from 2014 through 2022. Those videos as we go back in time, and our first plunge into the BCS era, 2013. Of course, Florida State earned a national championship, undefeated season, ACC championship, and a BCS championship win, the final of the era against Auburn at the Rose Bowl in dramatic fashion, trailing 21-3 and coming back for a final second win. All right, Florida State earns the national championship. Did Auburn earn that spot in the BCS championship game opposite Florida State? Let's look at Auburn and other candidates. The Auburn Tigers under Gus Malzahn entered the national championship game with a SEC championship win over Mizzou. They were 12-1. Their big wins included, of course, the kick six against Bama. Missouri was number 5 in the country, Texas A&M at number 7. And then you had wins against Ole Miss and Georgia, 2 top 25 teams, and a Mississippi State team that finished at 7-6. The loss for Auburn, 2-touchdown loss to the LSU Tigers, who were ranked number 6 in the country at the time of the game. Auburn came within seconds of winning the BCS championship, but Jameis Winston and the Florida State offense moved down the field and threw the game-winning touchdown pass with under 10 seconds to play to one Travis Benjamin. Who could have been there in place of Auburn? Were there other teams that earned it just as much? Let's check out the resumes for, first of all, Michigan State out of the Big Ten. Sparty was a 12-1 team, just like Auburn, with the Big Ten championship. Wins over Ohio State, an undefeated till then Ohio State team. Michigan State led by 17, trailed by 7, scored the final 17 points of the game to win 34-24 over the Buckeyes in Indianapolis. They also had wins over Michigan, number 21 at the time of the game, and they also defeated a 9-4 Nebraska team. Iowa and Minnesota, the Gophers and the Hawkeyes finished at 8-5, and then Michigan State, after being slighted for the appearance in the BCS championship game, defeated a number 5 Stanford team in the Rose Bowl. The loss for Michigan State, 17-13 against Notre Dame, and if you watch that game, as I did and remember, a number of questionable pass interference call. We're not talking about 1 or 2, 3 or 4 against Michigan State in that loss in South Bend. So that was Michigan State's lone loss that kept them from playing in the BCS championship game. Also, you had Baylor out of the Big 12. There was no Big 12 championship game, so Baylor had 12 total regular season games. They won 11. Their loss was against an 11th ranked Oklahoma State team, and they lost badly, 49-17. Now, Baylor had wins against a number 12 Oklahoma team, number 23 Texas, and a couple of 8-5 teams in Kansas State and in Texas Tech. Baylor, the Big 12 champions, would take on the American Conference champions, the UCF Knights, in the Fiesta Bowl and lose that game 42-32. How about those Knights? 11-1 American Conference champions. The loss came to South Carolina 28-25. That South Carolina team finished top 5 in the nation at 11-2. And UCF only lost by 3 points against South Carolina. Otherwise, they would have had a huge claim to play in the BCS championship game. As it was, their big wins, number 8 Louisville 38-35, and they defeated Penn State, who was a 7-5 team that year, and also Houston. The Cougars finished at 8-5, and as mentioned, it was a top 10 matchup in the Fiesta Bowl between Baylor and UCF completed its one-loss season, defeating Baylor. Elsewhere in the American Conference, Louisville finished 11-1, and of course that one loss was the UCF by a narrow margin of 38-35. So close losses by other one-loss teams could have changed the BCS championship landscape. Louisville out of the American Conference beat Cincinnati 9-4, an 8-5 Houston team, a Miami team that went 9-4. Now that win against Miami, of course, came in the postseason down in the Russell Athletic Bowl, and Louisville won that game easily over the Canes 36-9. So your 2013 national championship is set. It cannot be disputed. Florida State is the national champion. However, their opponent in the final game, Auburn, that could be disputed, and we just laid out the reasons why. Michigan State has the best case as a Big Ten champion with the same record as Auburn. And then we also have the resumes of Baylor out of the Big 12, and then the American Conference pair of UCF and Louisville. Louisville would be eliminated with the loss head-to-head against UCF 38-35. So other candidates for that national championship game appearance against Florida State, but the Seminoles take the undisputed crown in 2013. Leave your comments down below. We march on to 2012 in an interesting scenario to lay out for all of you. Please share these videos out on social media. We want to be able to continue to deliver these historical looks at college football as we go down through the ages, and we're going to map out all the national championships as well. So please join us and tell people that we are here talking college football with you every day. Best discussion, debate, and analysis right here at the Voice of College Football.